Hey guys, and welcome back to another Arma 3 video. It's been a while since I put out a list video, and last year's top 25 mods was a banger, so here's to its second iteration. Let's get right into it. At number 25, we've got Rebalanced FA18CD by Orbis2358. Right out of the gate, we got a mod that absolutely slaps if you're a flyer, and should really get excited for what he's got in store for the rest of the flying community. This mod adds a ton of realistic flight characteristics to Firewall's FA18C and D variant Legacy Hornets to include a PhysX activated afterburner. Now, the afterburner alone was reason enough for me to get this mod. The added icing on the top is the fantastic flight model overhaul that's been baked into the F-18's code. Firewall's aircraft are beautiful and unique to the workshop, but are notoriously caked to fly with insane turning capabilities in a dogfight. This mod aims to bring them back down to reality. Orbis is working on new flight characteristics for other Firewall aircraft as well, so expect many great things to come from him. At number 24, we have Ragdoll Physics Plus by Venom DJs. Now, a lot of people ask me what Ragdoll mod I use in my videos, and this is it. Without a doubt, one of the best and most refined Ragdoll mods out there. The biggest takeaway for me was that it actively seeks to ensure the forward knee bend thing doesn't happen, which completely takes me out of the game when I see it, so I salute you for your dedication to realism, my friend. This mod also adds more cinematic kill animations as opposed to the characters just going limp on the spot. A much needed improvement if you ask me. At number 23, we've got Adjustable Walking Speed by Rad. An absolute must-have if you're a ground pounder, especially during mount operations. The vanilla walk speed is doable, but it's awfully slow when you're under fire, so being able to adjust how fast or slow you're moving while clearing a building is an amazing addition to your CQC capabilities. We've all been there trying to thread that speed needle in tight quarters only to accidentally run into an uncleared room or inadvertently into friendly fire because of clumsy control. At number 22 is the AH-99E Mohawk by Delta Gamer. Now, I'm primarily a fixed wing guy, but I can appreciate some amazing rotary wing mods when I see them, and this mod is it. Delta Gamer has seriously beefed up the combat capabilities of the AH-99 Blackfoot, and through the wizardry of combat acquisition and requirements, has fielded one of the most capable vanilla combat helos you'll get your hands on. Adding additional weapon pylons via external storage allows the Mohawk to pack a serious punch while also retaining the speed and maneuverability of the Blackfoot. The added rotor-mounted radar is unfortunately just for show, but is a welcome visual addition lending to the technological enhancements of the Mohawk. This mod turns the light attack scout-centric Blackfoot into a full-on attack helicopter, and if rotary operations is your thing, I really think you'll enjoy it. At number 21, we have the Unsung mod by Egg Beast and the Unsung mod team. Now, this mod has been around for a long while, and looking at the subscriber count, everyone knows about it. What they may not know is that with the addition of the SOG Prairie Fire, which was worked on by the creator and some of the content creators behind Unsung, this mod has started to improve its quality to better match the Prairie Fire assets as a way to supplement the paid DLC even more. Looking through the many change logs they post every update, you can see that they're bringing this mod up to par with the likes of RHS. Unsung is one of, if not the largest mods on the workshop, and the sheer volume of content it provides, and in order to update all of that content requires a lot of work. The amount of aircraft, land vehicles, weapons, and support equipment is absolutely mind-blowing, and they keep adding to it. So I highly recommend you guys give Unsung another look and check out all the amazing updates they've been making to enhance your run through the jungles. At number 20 is Drongo's DYEL Carrying and Logistics mod. This mod is one of my standout favorites from the last year. I mean, obviously it made it on this list. DYEL is a full restructure of how you interact with objects in the virtual world, and adds a ton of incredibly unique features that you should check out, like being able to light a match and start a fire, or clearing grass and foliage through your included player interface. It's awesome. Another key feature is it doesn't require ACE, though I'm sure it works just fine alongside it. To be able to pick up and move around gear, equipment, and cargo in a more realistic way, I use the term realistic loosely here as it floats in front of you, helps me feel way more accomplished when providing support to combat operations. It's just one of those little things that you don't think about, but really helps your immersion and enjoyment if support is your thing. And was something that was sorely lacking in the base gameplay, but thanks to Drongo, that has been remedied. You can even build a makeshift technical using sandbags on the back of a truck should you desire. This is an absolute banger and a must-have of a mod. At number 19, we have the Russian Escalation 2035 Redux. This is hands down one of my favorite 2035-centric mods of the year. Russia is largely a backseater in the Armaverse during much of the primary storyline, and as such this mod aims to be cognizant of that fact by alluding to the lore provided in the Arma wiki. As Russia keeps the actual conflict at arm's length, they maintain trade ties to both the East and the West, allowing Russia to become a financial superpower, only ever invading Western neighbors when they are deemed a certain threat level. These assets are all vanilla but adorned with a beautiful Russian camo and look amazing. If Russia came pulling up to the shores of Altus, this is definitely how I'd imagine they look. If you're wanting to add some lore-friendly mods to your gameplay while keeping performance light, this is a mod for you. At number 18 is Canadian Forces Base Moosehead by S. Morency and Sephi. Hands down, one of the best new terrains to hit the workshop. It's been a blast flying between the two air bases and conducting operations. Based on the real-world CFB Petawawa located in Ontario, Canada, this mod is still in an unfinished beta phase, but that hasn't at all stopped me and thousands of other players from enjoying it. Featuring 2 large air bases, a couple dirt airstrips, and tons of varied weapons ranges, gives this map some awesome training opportunities for joint force exercises. If you're looking for a new map to call home, then this is it. At number 17, we've got AMF AIO, which stands for Arma Mod France All-in-One mod by the Arma Mod France team. What first caught my eye was the beautiful Rafale fighter that has been beautifully textured and brought to life thanks to these guys, and I'm an absolute simp for this jet. She's just so curvy and sexy, I love it. But they didn't stop there, they've also added a massive amount of aircraft, vehicles, weapons, and gear from the French military, and it honestly warrants some attention. The FAMAS has always been a favorite of mine since I first saw it back when I played Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1, and since then I've always had a soft spot for it. If you're wanting to get your hands on an awesome set of 21st century French military gear, then you need to grab this mod. At number 16 is the Zek, Zeus, and Eden templates building compositions by LSD. Now, before you say anything, yes, this is just a compilation, but it's so much more than just a compilation. This mod brings with it a ton of pre-built, realistic military facilities and compounds, saving a ton of time, both in the editor and in Zeus. As fun as it is to create your own facilities, it's massively time-consuming and not always practical when you're trying to get an operation running with multiple players involved. This will drastically decrease mission setup time and allow mission commanders more time focusing on the operation as opposed to building it. I use these almost every time I make a mission, and if I need something added or taken away, it's as simple as hitting one key. At number 15, we have the incredible Cold War Rearmed 3 Malden Islands. Now, for all of my Operation Flashpoint OGs out there, this should get your pants super tight. We played through Operation Flashpoint back in the day and learned all about this incredible simulator on those amazing islands. And now Wool and the Cold War Rearm team have gifted us with a venture back to those sacred stomping grounds. The islands will require most of the Cup Terrains mods to function, so be ready to shell out some disk space pulling this mod into your collection. But the end result is so worth it. The islands are spaced enough apart that it actually takes a good amount of time to transit the waterways to get to the other islands. Because the maps use Cup and are relatively simple maps, the hit to performance with essentially 4 maps in one is surprisingly low. I was rocking a solid 60 to 70 FPS the whole time, even with a good handful of assets loaded in. Now, of course, this will change slightly depending on multiplayer setup and other variables, but this map is superb and should definitely warrant a place on your list of mods. At number 14 is Animated Recoil Coefficient Changer by Cucumber. This is an incredibly recent addition to this list, and hot damn, what a banger. This mod allows for increased recoil animation for all weapons, and here's yet another mod we didn't know we needed. The mod comes with a slider within the add-on options to increase or decrease the amount of recoil and associated animation that goes with it, so you can get it just right for you. I will state that I wish that the vanilla weapons had a little more recoil, and with the Marksman DLC I feel like some of that need was remedied, but leave it to the community to give you the option to have more. So thank you Cucumber for the awesome addition to the workshop. You guys make sure and go say hi and thank him for his work. At number 13 we have Map Dark Mode by Seb. Dude, I try to find every version of dark mode for every single item I own in my life, from my phone to any website to this very Google Docs I'm working on right now. There's nothing worse than playing at night or in a dark room, opening your map and subsequently flashbanging yourself like an idiot. Not only is this the easier on the eyes, but the roadways and map elements are much easier to see, and honestly this may not come off my list of must-have mods now that I've gotten used to it. At number 12 is the incredible Cold War Rearmed 3 by Wool and his huge Cold War Rearmed team. Cold War Rearmed 3 provides hands down the best mod to take you back to those Operation Flashpoint days, faithfully recreating many of the same assets we had back in 2001. And adding some incredible new ones as well. Teamed with Cup, this mod is huge and provides a massive amount of 1980s technology and nostalgia that you can't get with other mods. My favorite has to be the beautiful AH-1S Cobra that is absolutely gorgeous to look at and even more fun to fly. US, Russian, and FIA forces are available and recreated perfectly to scratch that Cold War gone hot itch many people crave. At number 11, we see ourselves long ago in a galaxy far, far away with the Black Legion Imperial Assets mod by Imperial Black Legion. Now, there's been quite a few awesome Star Wars mods that have hit the workshop lately, but this one really stood out to me with the striking texture work and beautiful Stormtrooper armor. I always wanted a full set of Stormtrooper armor as a kid, and now that I have the money to afford one, I have no idea why I haven't bought one yet. But I digress. This mod is awesome. Coming with a full gamut of Black Legion specific uniforms, armor, and units, this mod will surely satisfy the need of any Star Wars fans out there. I could sit here circling around these units all day looking at them and never getting bored. They look damn good. The weapons are fun and typical of most of the Star Wars mods. They are dead accurate too, so get ready to be stacking bodies by the dozen. Well, you all knew this one was coming. At number 10 is Bet-IR by Vestar. Man, this is just one of those never take out of your mod list mods that can't be played without. You're absolutely doing yourself a disservice if you're conducting nighttime operations without this mod. Using the infrared illuminators by hitting Shift-Alt-L and Shift-Alt-N respectively, you can activate your weapon and NVG mounted infrared illuminators to give yourself the edge in low light engagements. This is particularly helpful when friendly fire is a major factor in close quarters and even at some distance. This is one of those operator as fuck mods that you shouldn't be living without. At number 9, we've got Zeus Enhanced by M. Harris. Hands down, a Zeus moderator's best friend, Zen is by far the highest priority of mods when it comes to Zeus operations. The list of changes and additions is way too long to list, but some of my favorites include a complete rework of the Zeus user interface, a context menu activated by right-clicking that gives a ton of module options within a couple clicks of a mouse instead of having to search through the Zeus module tree, and much more. A full list of these incredible features can be found on the mods workshop page, and it's still actively being worked on and updated to this day. If you want to maximize your potential as a Zeus moderator and mission creator for your friends or unit, then you need to be using Zeus Enhanced, otherwise you're failing. At number 8 is the venerable FA-18EF Super Hornet 2020 by TTT3, Acolyte, Yax, and Jezza. Arguably the highest fidelity fighter available when it comes to realism, the Super Hornet 2020 is a standout aircraft that has been showcased on this channel multiple times. It's been constantly upgraded throughout its reboot last year and has been making parallel progress alongside the USS Nimitz mod, of which it is functionally paired. While not every single button is able to be depressed, a lot of the major avionics and flight control systems are available to be utilized by either keybind or by using the cursor and activating the Custom User 20 button, which is explained in the mod description. The custom keybinds and controls are so expansive a wiki page was set up to explain it all, in a super easy to understand instructions. This wiki page will also teach you how to operate every available weapon system in the Hornet and is a blast to use correctly. Of course, you're at a disadvantage when flying against AI on smaller maps, as they can simply select and fox on you before you're even armed. So it's highly advised that if you're using this mod, to use it on large maps like South Asia, where long transit times allow buffers between you and the AI. At number 7, we have Web Knight's Droids by Web Knight. Man, this guy better get hired by Bohemia Interactive. Being the total Chad that he is, he's put out so many amazing mods that literally changed the gameplay of Arma 3, and this mod is no exception. Droids were sorely lacking in the Star Wars theme on the workshop, and these droids are some of the finest you'll find anywhere. At number 6 is hands down one of my all-time favorite mods, because y'all know I simp hard on great aircrew flight equipment, and that is Mo's Pilot Gear Suite by 556 Mo. This mod absolutely bitch slaps everything else when it comes to fidelity and beauty, and if I'm a flyer in this game, you can damn well bet I'll be wearing one of these beautiful helmets and flight suits. I mean, just look at this.
Gosh, just look at it!
The texture work is superb, the attention to detail is incredible, and I mean, my god, check out the comparison between this mod and the next leading brand. It's not even funny, dude. If you want the best aircraft flight equipment anywhere, get this mod. Thank you, Mo, for your amazing work. I love looking at it and tickling myself with a feather while lathered in baby oil. I mean, flying in Arma 3. At number 5, we have an amazing mod for people wanting to beef up the realism of their single-player game, and that is TPW Mods by TPW. Like I mentioned, this mod is strictly meant for single-player, but per the mod page, the settings and modules that come with it make the empty world come alive and feel much more vibrant and lived in. Ambient civilian traffic, flyovers, and random infantry skirmishes are just a couple of the amazing features of this mod. A full list of modules available to be customized and included in your game are on his workshop page, as well as links to any instructions should you need them. The best part is it doesn't require any mods outside of CBA A3, and it's very light on performance for what it's doing. Straight wizardry if you ask me. At number 4 is, well, honestly, it's a whole lot of mods, but to simplify it, I'll go ahead and just say Anthrax. His mods. All of his mods. You no doubt have seen some of his gorgeous screenshots floating around the Arma 3 community, but they all stem from his gorgeously constructed mod sets. Anthrax has created an entirely new lore with his mods, someone even equating his work to being the strange reel of Arma 3, and that couldn't be more accurate. Every one of his unit packs comes with a lore description and background, so you know the who, what, where, when, and why these forces exist in your mission. This adds a massive amount of gameplay options for mission creators who wish to venture more into the DLC that Arma 3 offers, which does mean you'll indeed need to purchase those DLCs for the mod to work. Honestly, it's worth it just to get some added depth to the story and gameplay of the Arma 3 sandbox. Anthrax, you are the king of screenshots and the king of coming up with country names I'll never in my life pronounce correctly. I mean, look at this. Sweet Jesus. What is that? It's so awesome I can't even say it right. It's not just DLC though. Many of his mods only require cup and are amazingly in-depth, like the Nagangsk mod, which adds 2 awesome factions to play as. If you're feeling super ambitious, you can grab his Continent and Arms mod, which is a collection of all of his created lore mods that require cup, which brings in a massive amount of new mission possibilities, as well as massively extending the lore. At number 3, we have what is and always shall be the sexiest fighter known to man, and I will argue this point until I'm blue in the face, is the beautifully dirty Warhawk F-16 by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ovi himself is a United States Air Force F-16 crew chief and knows this jet inside and out. It also just happens to share the same issue I had with Firewheel's jets, that they were way too clean. Firewheel finally got around to making the Legacy Hornet a little dirtier, but the Viper and pretty much every Firewheel jet before it looks like it just rolled off the assembly plant floor and has 0 flight hours. As often as they're cleaned to keep them functioning at peak performance, fighter jets are still dirty and worn, especially after being in the active fleet for decades like the Viper has. Throw in the fact that it's deployed to an environment like the desert that's constantly getting hit by sandstorms, and you're going to have a dirty jet. I asked Obi to make me a Viper of my own, and he delivered. This Viper is the public release version of the same livery he made for me, and I get the biggest grin on my face every time I look at it. I could sit here and look at it for hours. Never mind the fact that I'm completely aroused and possibly touching myself. At number 2 is After Eastwind by Ayanasa. Like Anthrax, Ayanasa had a desire to bring into the Arma 3 community an extension of lore-friendly assets, and has done so beautifully with After Eastwind. This mod brings in 5 new factions that each have their own new skinned uniforms and equipment, as well as lore and backstory, so you know where they fit in the Armaverse. The story is in the title, After Eastwind, so you know this mod will help you pick up the storied pieces and allows mission makers to further the awesome lore of Arma 3 even more. As these are all repurposed vanilla assets, they are light on performance and a lot of fun to play around with in the Arma 3 sandbox. And finally, at number 1, we have the venerable AH-64D Longbow Apache project mod by Voodoo Flies and his team. If you saw my video for this mod, you'd know how much fun it is to fly and even watch this amazing aircraft in action. Few things make the infantry happier than a cast call that completely obliterates everything in front of them, and the Apache is capable of doing that and much more. The avionics suite in this mod is on par with the Super Hornet, and like the Super Hornet, not every single button will be utilized, but I would ballpark that about 80% of them are. The learning curve is a little high, and this definitely isn't your pick up and play kind of mod. This mod is aimed at the people that want that DCS level of authenticity, and with the pending release of the DCS Apache coming soon, I guess we'll see just how closely they nailed it. This mod has been developed by a skilled team of coders under the advisement of actual Apache pilots, so you know that when you strap into this bad boy, you're getting one of the most authentic experiences available in Arma 3. Well guys, thank you so very much for joining me again today. Many of you may know I've recently moved into a new house, so I've been pretty quiet for about a month. Now that I'm back, the content should start to flow a little bit more regularly again. I just want to take a moment and thank my awesome patrons for their incredible support. You guys have stuck it out for the longest, and I'm very appreciative. Finally, I'd like to thank the modders and content creators out there that may be watching this. Arma 3 has one of the most diverse and unique modding communities of any game ever made. This community is full of incredibly talented individuals that, by all rights, should be working for game companies with their forward thinking and creativity, and many people do get picked up. You never know where your passion will take you, and developing content for the enjoyment of others is one of my favorite things about this community. Very few mods are made by one person. Often they require tons of people who code, texture, port, and package everything together in a workable fashion. All of that is way over my head, so my hat is absolutely off to the people that keep the lifeblood of Arma 3 flowing after 8 years of action. And of course, I have to thank Bohemia Interactive for not only providing us this framework to build off of that has stood the test of time, but for constantly working fixes behind the scenes and pushing out platform updates to keep Arma 3 relevant in 2021. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I need JSR as sounds, damn.
Ooh, you did it.
Wire snapped. Wire snapped.
Oh my god. Power. Oh no.
Oh, rip.
Yo, it literally yelled at me, wire snapped, bruh.